Welcome back to Worthly News, everyone. I hope you're having a fantastic day. So this week we are going to be talking about the battle rating changes. A bit ago they were first announced, and we have had our first set of revisions. The way I'm going to go do this is I'm going to start with tank changes and go down the line of nations, and then go with aircraft changes and boat changes. Also, if I do not state whether it's for arcade or realistic, it is for both of them. It should also appear on the screen. Otherwise, I will state whether it is for arcade, realistic, or simulator. Most of these changes had nothing to do with simulator, so if there's a simulator change, I will note that as well. So starting out with United States tanks, we have first off the M5A1 going from 2.3 to 2.7, same with the Chinese one. The T114 is going for arcade from 6.7 to 7.0, and for realistic from 7.0 to 7.3. For the M3A3 Bradley, it is going up from 9.0 to 9.3. For the M1128 is also, unfortunately for me, because I had a nice lineup going, from 9.0 to 9.3. And the main star of this is the HSTVL, going up from 9.7 to 10.3, but that's not the only thing is going. It's noted that the operation of loading mechanism is planned to be corrected. A little robotic, but what they mean is they're going to make it perform according to Spookson's YouTube videos. I'm also pretty sure they're going to replace the commander of the tank with a dogman. That isn't a joke. From what I'm reading, it should be able to fire all of its ammunition, not just a small ready rack, with a 1.5 second reload. Of course, that would make it much more powerful, so it should go up. 10.3 though is a bit of a steep climb, but we'll see how it handles it. For German tanks, the Panzer III-F is going from 1.7 to 1.3. The Panzer IV-F1 and realistic is going from 2.3 to 2.0. The Panzer IV-G is going from 1.7 to 3.3, making it the same battle rating as the Panzer F2, despite having better hull armor. The Dicker Max is going down in arcade from 4.3 to 4.0, and in realistic from 4.0 to 3.7. The Stuart Emil is going down 4.7 to 4.3. The Panther G is going down from 6.0 to 5.7, while the Panther F is going up from 5.7 to 6.0. And the Jagdpanther is going down from 6.3 to 6.0, as well as the premium one, so it can now bully jumbos even more. Something really interesting has happened with the JP45. The initial shell is planned to be replaced with DM502, the hashed shell. Probably will be just as effective as the APDS round that it has for some reason. The RU251 finally is going up in realistic only from 6.7 to 7.0. Should have happened years ago. The M48 Super is going down from 9.3 to 9.0 and is swapping places with the KPZ70. The VT12 in arcade is going from 8.3 to 8.0. The Leopard 2K is gaining DM23. The Leopard 2PL in realistic is going from 10.3 to 10.7, but also gaining DM43. The Leo 2A5 will also be gaining DM43, and for these two tanks, DM33 will replace DM23, while the DM43 will be a rank 4 mod in place of where DM33 used to be. For the USSR, the SU-122P is going down from 6.0 to 5.7, while the SU-100 is going down from 6.3 to 6.0, as well as the Chinese version. The ZSU-37-2 for realistic is going down from 8.3 to 8.0, so you'll have two 8.0 SPAGs. The T-64A is going down from 9.3 to 9.0, and the Tunguska going up from 10.3 to 10.7. For the Brit-Bongs, the 2-pounder Puma thingy they got is going down from 2.7 to 2.3. The Archer is going down from 3.0 to 2.7. The Achilles, as well as the premium one, are having their battle ratings reduced in arcade from 4.0 to 3.7, and in realistic from 3.7 to 3.3, while the Tech Tree version is being moved to rank 2. The premium one will still be rank 3. The Ratel 90 is being moved down from 6.7 to 6.3. The Shotkill Delet for arcade is being moved down from 8.7 to 8.3. The Challenger Mark III as well as the Vickers Mark VII are being moved up from 9.7 to 10.0. Both of them will get a new shell, the L26 shell, and the Challenger 2 is being moved up from 10.3 to 10.7, but also getting a new shell, the L27A1 shell. For Japan, both the Type 90 and the Type 90B are being moved down from 11.0 to 10.7. For China, the M3A3 Stuart, this also goes for the French and Italian ones, are being moved up in arcade from 2.0 to 2.3 and up in realistic from 2.3 to 2.7. Also, the Type 69 in arcade is being moved down from 8.3 to 8.0. Some interesting things are happening to Italian tanks. Starting out, the Dardo is going up from 9.0 to 9.3. The Centauro 105 believe the first one that is currently 8.0 is going to go up to 8.7. However, its initial shell is going to be replaced with the HeatFS shell, which I personally see as a downgrade. HeatFS is kind of trash. It will receive the M735 APFS DS shell as its first level modification, and as a rank 4 modification, it will have DM23. It is also going to be changed to a rank 6 vehicle. The Centauro 120 is being moved up in arcade from 10.0 to 10.7, and in realistic from 10.3 to 10.7. The Ariete P is being moved up from 9.7 to 10.0. The regular Ariete is being moved from 10.3 to 11.0, while the Ariete PSO is being moved from 11.0 to 10.7. Also, the PSO and the regular one are swapping places, which kind of makes sense because the PSO is more of just a slower version of the regular one. The additional armor is really only effective against things like RPGs, which you don't see at top tier. Although regardless, neither of them really have proper armor for top tier. For France, the AMX-13 FL11 is going from 3.3 to 3.7. The regular AMX-13 is going from 6.0 to 6.3 in arcade and 6.3 to 6.7 in realistic, and the AMX-1390 is going from 7.0 to 7.3, while the AMX-13 Bingus is going from 8.7 to 8.3. For Sweden, the Saab M43 1944 is going down from 2.0 to 1.7. The SAU-40 is going also down from 2.0 to 1.7, while the STRV M24EH is going down from 3.0 to 2.7. The IKV-73 is also going down from 3.0 to 2.7. The IKV-103 is going down in arcade from 5.3 to 5.0, and the IKV-91 is going up from 6.7 to 7.0. The Annoying Rocket Car is also going up from 7.0 to 7.3, and the CV-9120 is going up from 10.3 to 10.7. Now on to aircraft, starting with the United States. A lot of these are only for arcade, but the PBY-5 Catalina for arcade is going from 2.0 to 1.7. The PB2D is going in arcade from 3.7 to 4.0. In realistic, the XP55 is going from 4.0 to 4.3. In arcade, the XA38 is going from 4.3 to 4.0. The B17E, EL, and G are going in arcade from 5.3 to 5.0. While also in arcade, the PB4Y2 is going from 5.7 to 5.3. Same with the Chinese one. The B29 in realistic is going from 7.0 to 7.3. In arcade, the F86A as well as the F25 and F35 are going from 8.0 to 7.7, while the A2D1 is going from 8.0 to 8.3. The F8U2 in realistic is going from 10.0 to 10.3, and in simulator from 9.7 to 10.3, and the A7D is going from 10.0 to 10.3. For Germany, the JU87G1 in realistic is going from 2.0 to 1.7. That is one of the ones with the cannons on it. They're kind of fun to go mess around in low tiers with that thing. In simulator, the BF109E1 as well as the AT100D1 are going from 2.0 to 2.3, while the HS129B3 is going from 3.0 to 2.7, and the HS129B2 is going from 3.3 to 3.0. Same one is happening to the one in the Italian tree. The ME410A1U4 in realistic is going down from 3.7 to 3.3. The D335AO is going down from 5.3 to 5.0 in realistic. The ME262C1A is going down in realistic from 7.7 to 7.3. The F104G in arcade is going down from 10.0 to 10.3. And finally, the MiG-21FM as well as the F4F early are going down in realistic from 10.7 to 10.3. I find this one particularly funny because everyone, when the F4F early was added to the game, said its battle rating will be reduced in the future. I still anticipate this thing to eventually find its way down to 10.0, but we'll see how that goes in the future. Many say it does not need to go down to 10.3. I don't actually have it, so I can't say a whole lot. It is missing flares, but it does have some pretty strong missiles. For Russian aircraft, the I-301 in arcade is going up from 3.7 to 4.0. The Su-6 in realistic is going up from 4.3 to 4.0. The LA-200 is going from 8.0 to 7.7 and is also planned to be located before the LA-15. This one's particularly funny because this is, I believe, an afterburning jet. Will now face props. The very unfortunate 6.7 props, as are. Whatever, they're Spitfires. I hate Spitfires. They deserve to suffer. The Yak-28B in arcade is going up from 9.3 to 9.7, while the Su-17M2 is going up in arcade from 10.0 10.3 to 10.7. The MiG-19PT in simulator is going up from 10.3 to 9.7. The MiG-21 F-13 as well as the PFM are both going down from 9.7 to 9.3, which is funny. Everyone hated that decision last time around we were doing battle rating changes. You think people are going to change their mind? It was only like a few months ago. And the MiG-21 SMT is going down from 10.7 to 10.3 in realistic. For British aircraft, the Blenheim Mark IV in arcade is going down from 2.0 to 1.7. The Hurricane Mark IIB Trop as well as the Mark IV in simulator are going up from 2.0 to 2.3. The Wellington Mark 1C as well as the German one are going down in arcade from 2.7 to 2.3, while the Wellington Mark 1CL is going down from 3.0 to 2.7. The Mosquito FB Mark 1 is going down from 3.3 to 3.0 in arcade. The Viewfighter Mark 10 is going down from 3.7 to 3.3 in arcade, while the Viewfighter Mark 21 is going down in arcade as well from 4.0 to 3.7. The Spitfire Mark 9C in arcade is going up from 4.7 to 5.0, while the Spitfire Mark 22 in realistic is going up from 6.3 to 6.7. The Attacker FB1 as well as the 2 are going down in arcade from 7.0 to 6.7. The Meteor F Mark 4 G41F G and the Mark 8 G41K as well as the Reaper Premium one in arcade are all going down from 8.0 to 7.7, and the Javelin is going down in arcade as well from 8.7 to 8.3. The Hunter Mark 6 is going up in realistic from 10.0 to 10.3. For Japan, the Ki 27 Otsu as well as the Chinese one are going up in realistic from 1.3 to 1.7. Oddly enough, it's not stated that the premium one as well. However, I have a good feeling that we'll see that change in the official release of these battle rating changes. Typically, they unfortunately leave out a few variants of the same aircraft in the plans. The Ki 45 Ko, Te, and Hai are all going down in arcade from 2.0 to 1.7, while the Otsu is going down from 2.3 to 2.0 in arcade. The J2M2, also in arcade, is going up from 3.7 to 4.0, and the Ki 61 Hie is going up from 4.7 to 5.0 in arcade, while the Ki 48 Hie is going up in arcade from 6.7 to 7.0. Man, arcade is really weird. For China, the Ki 45 Hiei in arcade is going down from 2.7 to 2.3. The Q5 early in realistic is going down from 9.3 to 9.0, while the Q5A is going down from 9.7 to 9.3. And the F104G as well as the F5A in arcade are both going up from 10.3 to 10.7. For Italy, the P108A Series 2 in realistic is being moved down from 3.0 to 2.7. Oddly enough, they separately labeled the same plane, the P108A Series 2, going down in arcade from 2.3 to 2.0. The RE 2001 CN is going down in arcade as well from 3.7 to 4.0. The Spaghetti 2 is unfortunately being up tiered to 8.3, though could have been expected. The G91R4 is being moved down in arcade from 8.7 to 8.3, same with the German one. And the F104S is also being moved up in arcade from 10.3 to 10.7. For France, the NC2233 in realistic is being moved up from 2.3 to 2.7, while the NG33C1 is also being moved up from 2.3 to 2.7, but only in arcade. The MB162 is being moved up in realistic from 4.0 to 4.3, and the MD4544A is being moved up in arcade from 8.7 to 9.0. And finally, for Sweden, the B18B in arcade is being moved up from 2.7 to 3.0. The J22B in arcade is being moved up from 3.0 to 3.3, and in realistic from 2.7 to 3.3. And the J35D is being moved down in arcade from 10.3 to 10.0. Finally, for US Naval, you have the USS Candid being moved down from 3.3 to 3.0 in arcade. For German ships, the M802 in arcade is being moved down from 3.0 to 3.3. The MZ1 Griffin in arcade as well was being moved down from 3.3 to 3.0. The Jaguar and the Albatross are being moved down from 4.0 to 3.7, while the Cologne and Lubric are being moved down from 4.7 to 3.3. For Russian ships, the MO4 in arcade was being moved down from 1.7 to 1.3, while the Groza, and also in arcade, was being moved down from 3.3 to 3.0. For British ships, the HMS Leopard was being moved down from 4.0 to 3.7 in arcade. And for Japanese ships, the Ikazuchi, the Sionen, as well as Chikugo were all being moved down from 3.7 to 3.3 in arcade. The Isuzu was being moved down in arcade from 4.0 to 3.7, and the Agano was being moved down in realistic from 5.3 to 5.0. And that there is all the battle rating changes. Well, the planned battle rating changes. There might be a few changes when the changes take effect. For example, they included the MiG-21 F-13 and PFM in lowering the battle rating changes, but they did not talk about the Chinese one. I wouldn't be surprised if they did include the Chinese one in the final iteration. Though, if you want to make sure they do, if they do keep these battle rating changes for the MiG-21s, you should have plenty of time to go onto the forums, there should be a link below, and complain about what of these changes are terrible or ones that you think should be taken into place. And that's just about all I have to say on this video. So before I clock out, I'd like to thank my patrons, YouTube members, and Twitch subs. Thank you very much, guys. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button. If you didn't like the video, don't hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. I make War Thunder weekly news videos every Friday. I make brand new videos throughout the week, and I like to stream on Saturdays. So be sure to hit the bell icon to be notified anytime I upload video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day. And in terms of bonus news, I don't think the mouse needs to be 7.3. It's not exactly super amazing at 7.7, and sometimes you get killed by some heat-fest garbage. But a lot of times, your thick armor can absorb many things, and the things you can't absorb with the armor, you have 6 crew members, plenty of spongy room to not die in one hit. And the gun is perfectly viable at 7.7. The only issue it has is it's slow, so it can't get into nice spots or combat very fast. Although, don't get me wrong, I would love to see it at 7.3. Just it doesn't need to be there.